Alright, after winning our last Isaac run, let's run back another. We're still just trying to get our 10 Mom's Heart victories so that we can aim for the further unlocks, which I am quite excited for. Yahoo! Yeah! I'm excited. I kind of want to try and do some more Super Mario 64 speedruns. Learning how to do that was kind of a good time. It's so funny to watch. I want to learn 16 star. I think learning. Well, I already know how to do 16 star. 16 star is really silly. It's not really a whole lot to do either. It's doable for somebody that's like moderately skilled or puts like any amount of time into it. You can do it in under an hour. And I know that the world records are like crazy. They're very, very short. I will not be disparaging those people because I know that those people know what the hell they're doing. BLJ, BLJ. Yes. The BLJs are just so funny. I feel like, I mean, I could use, I think I could use my GameCube emulator for that. I do own a physical copy of, not GameCube emulator, GameCube controller and an emulator. I do own a copy of Super Mario 64. Coinage. Okay, well, at least it's a DPS upgrade. I do own a copy of Super Mario 64 and the 64. They are currently back in. They're back across the country, so I may have to wait on that. Get those back at some point. But I've been thinking about doing some speed running. I think that could be a good way to learn more about like gaming capabilities. Plus, like a little bit of speed running is kind of neat, right? Learning the learning process is super cool. I think learning how to set up everything for that would be the most time consuming part aside from just doing it. Shia LaBeouf voice, just do it. I love that he said, I'm gonna force myself to become a meme by saying a bunch of air quotes inspirational things in front of a green screen. That stuff is funny though. Just sliding in front of a green screen because you want other people to edit you screaming stuff on top of stuff. Like, yeah, you know what? Open up the opportunity for people to get a little wacky with it. A green screen stream could be fun. I feel like I'd need people to watch so that I could be like, okay, what do you want me to do? You are my director. I am but your muse. Give me something that you want me to do. Something that is memeable and not problematic, ideally. I really don't feel like getting canceled for no reason. I don't feel like getting canceled at the behest of somebody around me. Somebody who wishes upon my downfall. My haters. My haters on their hater arc. Trying to get me killed. Zero all zero of my haters. Oh yeah, that's the opposite of stands. My spouse and I were talking about this earlier. I think we were talking about Jared Leto, another guy that I do not like. I'm a Jared Leto hater. I think that he keeps showing up in media properties that he does not need to be. Like Tron Ares, I'm not watching that. That ended up being on in the background at what was it, a family Christmas party recently? I was just like, is this stuff on TV already? When did that come out? I don't even recall. Is it on streaming? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was on streaming, just because that's everything goes on streaming within like 2 weeks now. That's just the life cycle of media. It lives in the zeitgeist for 3 seconds and then it gets washed away in the torrent. The torrent of streaming and new media coming out and TikToks and whatever. Do I get it? No. No, I do not. I think our run is fine for now. I will take Ancient Recall, and then we'll pull more of them down, I think, with the flower trinket. We only pulled one. The world, one. That's good to have. Hanged Man, yeah, I'll use that right now. But yeah, I did. Jared Leto is if there is one Jared Leto hater, it is me. I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff. I just hate that he has a cult and that's just normalized now. It's like, oh yeah, these people have sex cult. What are you gonna do? Keep putting them in movies, by the way. Surely his acting prowess is good enough. It makes me so happy that he was in Morbius, though. Just the complete failure of Morbius. I should have used that while the enemies were in the room, actually. Whoops. Whatever. One moment. We'll take High Priestess. This one. I just don't think Jared Leto's acting prowess is good enough. I mean, he couldn't save Morbius. I don't know what... that whole movie is just a mess. I think I ended up watching it because of the what was it? The like I can fit all of Morbius if I downscale it, I can put all of Morbius on Twitter and no one will do anything to stop me. And I'll tell you, no one did anything to stop him. That movie stayed... I'm pretty sure that tweet stayed up for a minute. And I gotta say, that movie, I saw it for free, and the only thing that I got from it was that Matt Smith, right? The Doctor Who guy? 11 of Doctor Who was in it. I mean, he was chewing it up. He was having a great time, but Jared Leto, I just felt like there were so many terrible lines in that movie. Why does Sony keep making these just absolutely dog shit Spider-Man adjacent movies? Like, it's because they had the rights, right? And they're like, Kraven the Hunter, Morbius, Madam Web. Like, who the hell knew who Madam Web was before that movie came out? Turbo comic nerds, and I'll tell you what, they were probably not clamoring for a Madam Web adaptation. Okay, well, we'll just keep moving on then. Just deciding whether or not anything that I've gotten is worth pulling into the boss fight, which it isn't. But yeah, Madam Web was also a movie that I saw on a movie theater, not a movie theater, a flying movie theater, aka an airplane. And I think that was the only acceptable way to see that movie. Learned the funny thing is that they did adapt an actual Madam Web plot and then decided not to, changed a bunch so it didn't make sense. The ghost of the comic was in there. That makes sense. What the hell plotline were they trying to do and then decided to scrap? Just commit to doing the comic book plotline. It's already written for you. You don't have to do any work for it. I mean, you got to do a little bit of the adaptation, but you already did it. Why would you bother? I have to send the video that you watched about it. Okay, I will watch that and I will come back to this at some point. I will discuss it further in the Isaac series. Maybe. If I remember, ideally. My forgetful ass remembers. My hungry ass could never be on the Titanic. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. What's the movie about the... Was it New Zealand rugby players who would have eaten the iceberg? Yeah. That's what the lettuce is named after, right? The Titanic iceberg. An advertisement jail. I'm so sorry. You're in advertisement jail. That's how it goes. Unfortunately. Luck down. Come on. Can't have shit in Isaac. Stop trying to steal my juice. My battery juice. Welcome back. What was I saying? I feel like I had something to say, but I just keep losing it. Something about movies. Today is the day where we talk about movies, apparently. Oh yeah, I saw Madam Web on the plane, and that movie sucks ass. One, Dakota Johnson just could not put on a compelling performance. Well, I don't think anybody in that movie was gonna put on a compelling performance. But I do not feel like Dakota Johnson does compelling. The video I'm talking about is, why does Madam Web's dialogue sound so weird? The dialogue in that movie is insane. The answer is ADR. What is ADR again? Everybody in that whole movie just seems so stilted the entire time. Go back and re-record lines later. Why would you just do lines right the first time? Like, sure, you can do it again later, but because they changed the plot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Still, why would they change the plot in post? I guess you gotta piece together something from that monstrosity scrap monstrosity, I guess would be the correct way to say that one. You gotta piece something together in that bad boy, but bring it more in line with other Marvel. I don't want to see other Marvel. Sony couldn't... They try and replicate Marvel, but they can't. Like, I was going to talk about this earlier, too, with the Amazing Spider-Man series, with Andrew Garfield. Those movies are not very good for numerous reasons. think Andrew Garfield is to blame for that one. Actually, I think he puts on a pretty compelling performance. Him and Emma Stone are actually like the highlights of that. But just all of the other, like, they got Paul Giamatti to do a goddamn cameo at the end. They have Tiny Rhino Paul Giamatti in that movie. Or was it the second one? I don't remember anything from the first one other than being like, why does this feel so weird? Why is everything in this movie so odd? Why are these movies so weird? The second one just has fucking awful writing. I wish that weren't the case, but it's bad. I've only seen the Sam Raimi 1 and 2 ones. Those are good! I would not waste your time with the Amazing Spider-Man movies by Sony. The Amazing Spider-Man game? Wait, was it? No, that's Ultimate Spider-Man that I'm thinking of. Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, would be up your alley, actually. It's a little older now, but you get to play as Venom, and, like, you have some fun boss fights. Like, you fight Wolverine within the first, like, section where you play as Venom. Like, you play chapters and you go back and forth between Venom and Spider-Man. I had a lot of fun with that game. Those time trial type beats where you're against the Human Torch. As a kid, I wasn't the biggest completionist, to say the least. But I did those just to try and, like, say that I did them. Those were hard. The movement tech in Ultimate Spider-Man had some depth to it, to say the least. I would really like it if I could get an Angel Room. Well, next floor. Anyways, I really liked Ultimate Spider-Man. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is one of those games that is from an era where, like, bad games thrived, but we had a couple of good Spider-Man games. At least for the Xbox and PlayStation. I personally thought the Spider-Man 2 game was a lot of fun. The pizza mini game music is just so good. I can't remember the exact tune. I'm terrible at performing. I'm terrible at not being super self-conscious about trying to, like, do anything music related. Because anytime I've tried to do so previously, people would be like, wow, you're so off key, etc., etc. Which I usually am, but, like, I'm not trying to... I'm just trying to get the point across, okay? Damn it. I don't need you hammering home on my insecurities, please. More keys is good. I'm not the most confident of this run right now. I do think that it has potential, but... Ooh, Hierophant. That actually may be enough. It doesn't look insane enough yet. Exactly, that's the problem. Another Hierophant card. Let's go. We may actually be in this then. Ooh, okay. Thanks. Another apple. I'll take that. It's something. It's a Tears upgrade at least. Could always use more of that. Anyways, there's a lot of good Spider-Man games. I don't think, well, I don't know if there's a lot of good ones. I feel like Spider-Man is one of those franchises that people really like. I know I really like Spider-Man. Or at least did. I don't really care for comic stuff too much now because it's been oversaturated. I've heard a lot of people talk about them positively. Yeah, like I beat all of the newest Spider-Man, like regular Spider-Man game for PS4. I beat that one. I did a lot of the side content in that game as well because I found it very fun. Certainly think that making a game where you web swing around it more interesting than another shooter. I would agree. I think that there's a lot of potential for good Spider-Man media. But then again, like, there's just a lot of bad media as well. Anyways, the newest, the Spider-Man for PS4 was really good. I liked Miles Morales, the limited amount that I played of it. I think I may have gotten like halfway through that one. But I thought it was good. I really liked Spider-Man PS4. Was it Amazing Spider-Man? I can't remember the actual one. Can't remember the actual title of it. But I loved the gadgets. The gadgets were a ton of fun. I felt like there was a lot of like it was your stock standard like post Arkham Asylum. You got a parry, you got combos, you do your flow state type deal. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But the gadgets are what really did it for me. Because like sure I can throw whatever in a combo, but I'll gladly have a game where I can use cool stuff frequently. I love having the option to use cool stuff. I had my friend Sean watch me play that, and he was like, "You go crazy with the gadgets. I don't think I've seen anybody use them as much as you do." And I was like, "Yeah, I want like it's a mechanic in the game. Why wouldn't I want to use it?" He's like, "I just did the combat normally." I was like, "Why would I fight fair? I'm Spider-Man." If I can stick people to the walls instantly, I'm gonna do that. The less I have to give them a fair fight, the better. Spear of Destiny. I've unlocked a Forgotten Horseman. Okay. Yeah, I loved playing that game just because I got the opportunity to really feel like Spider-Man, as everybody says. But like, when you're playing a Spider-Man game, you want to feel like Spider-Man. Why wouldn't I want to feel like Spider-Man in a Spider-Man game? Rude. People act like that's such a bad critique. Sure, it doesn't mean anything, but like, nothing means anything. Show me, show me Spider-Man pictures or whatever. I want to feel like Spider-Man if I'm playing Spider-Man. I want to be the guy that quips and slings webs and yeah, I will use the moon here. And in this silly, wacky world, I want to feel Peter Parker's pain, and like the whole shebang of great power comes great responsibility. That's what I want from my Spider-Man game. I want to feel like Spider-Man. I want to feel like I have to undergo moral decisions or whatever, or at least like see the interesting villains and stuff, you know? Because I feel like Spider-Man does have one of the better rogues galleries, or at least like more iconic rogues galleries. Like there's a ton of crossover between Spider-Man and some other not villains, some other heroes, but like so it makes sense that Punisher would care about Kingpin or whatever. It makes sense that anybody in New York would also like associate with Spider-Man's rogues gallery in some capacity. Because he's got some crazy ones in there. I love that they're all animal themed, really, except for Craven. What was the '80s animated show? Why did we stop doing animated shows like that? Well, I know why, but just like the 3D rendered city when he's swinging is so ridiculous. Look that up, by the way. Just look up uh Spider-Man 80s Spider-Man Cityscape. It's the wackest looking 3D rendering. It's so funny though. And it's just like something that you see for 3 seconds, but it's entirely unnerving. Very much something that I would not expect from my Spider-Man TV show. God, Google is so useless. Yeah, Google has really come around to being unusable, which makes me sad because I remember when it was good. I remember when it was usable. Damn it! But now it's SEO'd to shit, and it incentivizes you to use the stupid ass Gemini or whatever, the AI assistant, which nobody cares about, or at least I don't care about. I want to actually get a source for the stuff that I look up. Like, even if that source has to be Wikipedia, it's better than nothing. Stop walking on the spikes. Stop walking on the spikes. I want I want to be able to search something on the internet and be able to find it, not be spoon-fed it and have it be wrong or like 50-50 chance that it's wrong. I don't want that. I want to be able to verify my sources or my facts. But that seems to be against the code of the Alphabet Corporation nowadays. Like your feet crave the spikes because this is also happening to you during Fear and Hunger. Yeah, I did walk onto the spikes a lot in Fear. That's a game I need to actually finish at some point because it seems neat. It is not exactly stream content, and I feel like a lot of RPG Maker games are not very good stream content now because it's just so much reading. Although it really depends on what you're looking to do and what people are looking for from you, I should say. Because like I want to play more Look Outside. That game seems super interesting. I feel like JRPG horror is a genre that is getting a lot more attention and love, and for good reason. There is a lot going on with it. It is quite compelling. But I feel like it's one of those game types that you just a lot of the RPG Maker RPGs uh, feel a little convoluted to say the least. Like I enjoy them, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of mechanics and just like, okay, well, if it's if it's made to be hard, what am I supposed to do in order to like do well? Because I do want to do well, and I don't want to just be like, okay, well, I just keep screwing up and like trial and error is fun, but I don't want to have to replay the same like 3 hours worth of content in order to really get anywhere, you know? I just like having the option to save more often. That's really my big hang up. Although I know that's part of the difficulty that I selected. I don't want to play on easy mode though. I want it to be a little bit challenging. I don't want to just be like, okay, I steamroll everything. If that was the case, then I would play something else, you know? That's kind of why I'm playing a JRPG, is that it requires at least a little more thought from me. Got to think about like enemy types or whatever. Like Persona or something. I don't know. Persona is an interesting one. I certainly want to play some Persona, but that is not a good stream franchise. It does not get the kind of attention that it deserves in this space. Unless, like, it's not a good discoverability game, I guess. And I have other stuff I want to do other than just play games. So I gotta play more Twitch oriented games, I guess. Then again, I am going to play what I want to play. At the end of the day, I am going to do that. As long as I'm having fun, that's the thing that matters. I want to make it entertaining, and if I'm not having fun, it's a damn slog to do that. I actually asked for a little bit of content assistance in regards to that. I asked, Prey is okay for some tips, because he's been doing this for a hot minute, and he seems like he's doing well. He seems like a good guy, and I feel like the tips that he gave were good and applicable. Because, like, let's be real, I'm still very new at this. I've been around for a decade, so a lot of the, or at least around in this space for a decade, so I have some antiquated knowledge and ideas in regards to Twitch. Twitch culture has certainly moved a lot faster than I've kept up with. I just don't watch a whole lot of streams in my downtime, which is kind of on me. Only so much that you can make time for in life. Okay, we'll move on to the next floor, and I think that'll be this run. Check this last room and try and fight Mom's Heart then. I think soon enough we'll be up to 10 wins. What was the core at? I think we're at like 8 or 9 at least. Which is not insignificant. For this file, that's pretty good. Or take the Justice card. What do we have for unlocks this time? Really? I completely forgot that that was the reveal for that. Fetus in a Jar. Challenge 9 unlocked.